What is Airtable and what's it for? As you can see on its homepage, Airtable is an app for organizing projects with your team for marketing, sales, CRM, finance, everything a company or personal project might need. Airtable's unique. It lets you organize projects and use formulas which others don't offer. We show this in a video on our tutorial playlist. That's Airtable's basic function. Now let's explore all its features for beginners. How do you create an Airtable account? Let's go to their homepage and sign up for free. Here we can register using our company email address, or we can sign up with Google, for example. Once we've entered our details, we'll access this page. They'll ask some questions to understand how we'll use it for better customization. Enter workplace, team type, continue. You can add collaborators or skip like I will. We can customize our workspace color. Next, choose 100%, import existing data, or just click next. Finally, it'll generate our first Airtable space. This might take a few seconds. Here's a preview. We can adjust options or give credit. As you see, our first account is now visible. Click Start, close the X, and it's created. Let's create our workspace in Airtable. We're on this home page where you might have been redirected after creating your first session. Simply click the house icon in the top left, then go back. A new page will appear showing all our spaces. First, we have our home where we can pin frequently used spaces. We can also access all workspaces. Here you'll see your first workspace created by the app when you joined. Just click the plus sign to create a new workspace. Name it as you like and click create. You can use AI to create a space which will generate a template based on some input or start from scratch. For this tutorial, we'll start from scratch. As you can see, you can import existing work if needed. Now you have your first workspace created. How to customize our spaces in Airtable. To do this, we'll go to the Interfaces section where we can choose a design for our new interface. There are various options, including starting with a blank canvas. I'll use the listing template and click Next. The interface should appear, but for some reason I'm getting an error. So I'll go to the workspace the app created and show you how it works. In this workspace, we'll go to Interfaces again to see how it's done. The interface appears on the left, and you can edit its status and shape on the right. For example, I can rename Overview to anything, and it'll change here and in my interface. I can do this with each section and view I've added. I can edit everything as I prefer to work better with my team and improve our understanding. It's up to you to explore and customize it as you see fit. Remember, you can enable or disable various project actions. For instance, you can allow or restrict your teammates from exporting work. You can create new lists and do whatever else you want. How do the spaces work in Airtable? As you can see, like any CRM, we have a top bar, sometimes on the left, for switching between different project sections. We can create various views, timeline, list, or network. Airtable has sections for data, automations, which we'll explore, interface customization, and forms. I've shown how to customize the interface in another video. In the data section, we have all our collected data and can switch between different views. We have this view now, but I could create a Kanban view. For example, you can set whether you want this view to be collaborative or personal, so only you can see it. You can create a new view, adjust options to show statuses, customers, and customize the field. Then you're all set. As you can see, you'll have a new view. Depending on your project, this view may work better or worse for you. You can do this with different views like a Gantt chart. I wouldn't say Gantt charts are trendy, but many companies find them quite useful. Each person can have their preferred view that helps them organize better. If we go to the tasks section, we can see all the tasks we've created, their statuses, priorities, and other attributes. We can change these values and add more statuses if you need it for long texts, attachments, dates, phone numbers, or anything else. For reasons we all know, I can't give phone number examples, but you can add them if needed. You can change descriptions and edit as required. In the Teams section, you'll see your project teams, their tasks, available roles, and each person's role. There's a resources section which covers what you need for the project. As it says, there's that section and a deadline section. You can edit the project end date to keep your projects well organized. These options we've just seen are available in all views. Don't worry if you have a different view. These features will still be accessible and usable. Lastly, we have a design assets section, and the next feature I want to show you is filtering. In any section, like deadlines, we can filter using various conditions. We can add date conditions, input specific values, and filter in whatever way works best for us. We can change the order, like by deadline or A to Z, similar to Excel. We can organize it all this way. applying conditions just like in Excel, but in a simpler, more user-friendly manner. Lastly, you can even add different tables like spreadsheets or Excel files, plus data from other apps and CRMs such as Trello or task organizers like Miro. A really cool feature of Airtable is how tables relate to each other. Let me show you an example. As you can see, within all projects, we can link them to different tables, clients, and various functions we've set up. For instance, if I open the presentation, you'll notice typical CRM options like setting dates, budgets, who's working on the project, its status, and more. We also have associated items with this link symbol, such as tasks, teams, and so on. You can do this with many different things. Let me give you a quick example. If we go to tasks and I change the name of this task here, when I hit enter, it automatically changes in all other places where this task is linked. For example, if I go to Teams and check this team's tasks, you can see the name has changed to Airtable Tutorial. The same would happen with Teams linked to tasks. If I go to Teams, select Pixel Pioneers and change its name, it would automatically update. When I return to tasks, we can see the name has changed to Tutorial Teams. This feature allows for much quicker and easier organization. If I have a created project, I can assign tasks, set the project end date, budget, and other details. I can add as many tasks as I want, directly link different teams in my company and the clients it's for. This allows for much simpler organization without constantly changing data in multiple places. So this is a feature you should keep in mind. It's very useful, and I think it's an interesting advantage this app offers. Airtable filters and views. As you can see in Airtable within our workspace, we can create different views for our project. We can also filter using various options, which I'll show now. First, the views. I won't show all, but I'll give you a quick overview of how it works. You can create different views as you like, and within these views, you can customize them in various ways. For example, the calendar view. I currently have it set to filter tasks by start and end dates. How would I do this? Simply click on Views in Range in the top left, and here you can edit and set the condition you want. It's just a matter of exploring. We also have Gantt chart. Note that when creating a new view, you can set it as collaborative or personal, which will determine all our collaborators can see it or just us. Here's a view for me, and as you can see, we've already created our first Gantt chart. We can extend or modify it as needed. Anyone familiar with Gantt charts will understand and be able to use it. This is how you can create your views. Notice that when you hover over each view, a little star appears. If you click this star, it'll add the view to your favorite. What's this useful for? Well, if there's a view you use frequently and you want quick access because you have many views, you can go directly to it this way. Also, the drop down lets you rename or delete the view if needed, as well as manage filters. You can use these in various ways, and there are different types. You can customize each of these boards you see now in different ways with various options. For example, here I see these, but if I go to Kanban and click Customize Cards, I can basically choose what I want to see for each project. I can set it to show the budget and maybe the project status to have a more visual way to track progress. I can also filter, which is possible in all sections. For instance, I've added a filter to exclude items with test in the name, and it filters out those with this word. This way I can see which ones don't have this name. I could add any conditions I want, even groups of conditions. This would allow me to investigate by account. I can also group tasks by assignee, from A to C or C to A, and even add subgroups. I could also sort by description, due date, from oldest to newest or vice versa, as I prefer. As you can see, each of these options will stack on top of each other. This is important because if I only want to order all tasks without these two options, I'd need to remove these filtering options. This way, I'd simply filter according to my preferred order. Lastly, you can apply color filtering, which colors sections differently based on conditions. If it contains test, we add X color, though it's not working for me right now. For example, I don't have any with that, okay? Or take creation. Let's change it to creation with an accent. See if it works. As you can see, the filtering isn't working well at all. In the end, I had to copy the exact name for filtering. This might work for a more general section, but you'd need to research a bit more on how to filter those colors effectively. Finally, these would be the options you could add. Plus, you could hide fields you don't want to see or add new ones as well. How can we link other programs with Airtable to transfer tasks between them? In our workspace, we'd need to go to the task section, look at the taskbar and click the plus icon, okay? Here we can add a blank table or import data from other sources, alright? As you can see, we can import from CSV files, got it? We can download Excel files, use Excel directly, connect Google Sheets, or even apps like Miro or Trello. We have a Trello tutorial on our channel. It's another great CRM app. Let me show you an example using Trello. I need to select the Trello data and the specific file from here, okay? Sorry for the mistake, folks. Let's go back. We need to click on export data from Trello. Actually, this is for selecting a CSV file from our computer, okay? And import it. What we want is to export data from Trello, okay? Let's do it. Here we'll get an explanation of how to do this export, alright? So we can import our files. This would work for any other program too. Let's look at more sources, okay? We have spreadsheets, and we could connect our Google account, for example. We'd link our Google account and import all the data we want from our spreadsheet. This way, you can transfer needed data between programs if you want to migrate. A cool feature in Airtable is that we can create our own forms within the app. If we go to the forms section, it's tricky to guess, but as you can see, I've already made one. We can create as many as we want. In this form, we can change the title, modify sections, and choose what's visible to collect info and make changes. We can set redirects to URLs, mail responses, and customize the form to fit the client's needs or the target audience. There's a preview on the top left to see how the form looks, and at the start, when you're done, hit submit. After making your first form, click submit and then publish. That's the basic process. Is to publish it. It'll ask how you want to share it. If you've already made a form, go to the sharing form and click on settings for sharing. Here you can change how people access the form via website, anyone in a domain, or just users with database access. You can also copy the link and send it to those who need it. This way you can create your forms easily and practically. Automations are becoming essential, and nowadays we want to automate as many processes as possible to reduce our workload, right? In this program, we can also create these automations. I'll show you how. Let's go to the automation section. Yes, I know it was very difficult, okay? And within this, okay, we have different options, including these on the left that give us examples of pre-made automations we can use, okay? For instance, sending an email when a record meets certain conditions, like if the priority is critical, send an email to X, okay? We could add more logic as we wish, changing what the priority would actually be, okay? And we can do this with each of our automation. For example, I'm going to create a new automation. Here I'll add a trigger, basically adding what will activate this automation. What's the trigger to start it? Let's click add. Here you can see the different options we have. For example, we can use when an email is received, but we won't use that in this case, okay? That's for the business plan. My mistake. So, when a record matches the conditions, we'd need to add condition logic for what should happen. For example, when the condition is met, we'd select the task table, add another condition like contains X name, okay? Then an email will be sent. You could use your boss's email if needed, or your own. This way, you know that if you name a task X, a message will automatically be sent to that person, and they'll know what to do. Here you can add a message as the email subject and automate all these tasks, improving communication with your colleagues or clients. Alright, here's the question you've been waiting for. What are the prices for this impressive Airtable app? Well, we basically have 4 different pricing tiers. The free plan, then we have the €20 per month plan, the €45 per month plan, and the custom plan where you talk to the software provider to create a plan tailored to your company's specific needs. Each plan differs mainly in storage space, number of users, and automation capabilities. For example, API usage is only available in the highest paid plan. You'd need to discuss with them to maximize your task automation. For instance, the basic plan offers 1 GB storage, while the business plan provides 100 GB. As you can see, there's a noticeable difference, but it all depends on what you need it for and if you really have that need. Lastly, the monthly price is based on the number of people in your workspace. This means if you want to add 5 people to your workspace, it'll be €20 per person per month, so €100 total per month. Those are all the paid plans, so you can decide whether to spend the money or not. You'll have to see if the program really suits your needs. That's it for the tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, guys.